Good morning, everyone. Dr. Vicky here, speaking to you from the Seeds of Transformation Healing Center. Today is this 19th of June. It is Juneteenth, a celebration of the emancipation of slaves in Galveston, Texas. I think it was about a year after, maybe it was longer than that. I should probably know my history better. After the Civil War, after emancipation, there was a group of slaves who were not aware that they were emancipated, and on June 19th, they were free. I guess they were freed, or they were told. But of course, it's like, oh, you're no longer slaves. You want to work for me? I'll pay you for a cent. Kind of like that. But of course, that was then. This is now. Things have changed. Thankfully. All right. So today the moon, as I stand here, it's early. It's early. The sun actually is just starting to rise. I wanted to come out before the sun got too high. Tomorrow is the sun moves into Cancer, and so we are close to the longest day here in the Northern Hemisphere. And there is, I guess, a heat dome on the East Coast. I looked at it, and I'm not sure it's going to make it this far up, but we'll be right. I think we'll be right on the edge of that. So I'm hoping. I'm putting out like a vibe. I'm visualizing that the heat dome doesn't quite make it here, because as you can see, there are no ACs in my office, so that's going to be interesting. Anyway, so if you are in the area of the heat dome, which is pretty much the whole east side of the country, please make sure you stay hydrated, stay out of the heat and the height of the sun. If you have any breathing issues, I mean, I don't have to tell you this. You just have to watch TV. They'll give you these warnings. But let's hope that this whole community stays cool, so to speak. I mean, we're already cool, internally, like cool because of who we are and all that stuff. But hopefully we can stay temperature cool as well. The moon does shift into Sagittarius this morning. Well, actually, this afternoon here on the East Coast, 12:21, I believe. And, of course, the energy from Scorpio, which is deep, intense, emotional, brooding, to Sag, which is like, hey, I just survived Scorpio. I'm happy. And rather optimistic, I think is a nice way of starting the summer with an optimistic tone, because tomorrow, when the sun moves into Cancer, the moon will be in Sag. And of course, whenever the sun, whenever a planet moves into whenever a planet moves into Cancer, we look to see what the moon is doing. We had Mercury and Venus move into Cancer, and the moon was in Scorpio when that happened. And so our minds, our hearts, deep. The sun moves into Cancer. By that time, the moon is in Sag. And so there's a little more lightness of being, as it were, a more adventurous spirit, a more optimistic view, which is good, because we're going to need optimism. Especially if it gets that hot. Ay. Anywho, so that is a story. Today there is a trine between Vesta and Neptune. And Vesta is what we devote ourselves to, and Neptune is at the last degree of Pisces right now. And it is, Neptune is very imaginal, right? Imagination. And so it is a time to focus and devote yourself to the picture of the world that you want to see, okay? To put the energy, to put your focus. There's a thing that people do. They take pictures, dream boards and the like, right? We could make our own dream board, right? But it doesn't, a lot of times people make the dream board, well, I want to have a Tesla, and I want to have a nice house on the lake, and I want to have a plane, and I want to, whatever it is that people feel they need in their life. My needs are much more simpler than a Tesla and a plane, although I wouldn't mind a pickup truck, so we could go pick up mulch for the garden, stuff like that. Not that I don't love my little red car, but you know what I'm saying. But we can actually do that, utilizing that thing, but seeing the world, like seeing people getting along, working together, building a better future. You can imagine that. And that imagination, as opposed to this hellscape that, a lot of these Republicans, namely, what is he called? Felon 34 or 34 felon or Mr. 34? I don't know. I don't know. They don't think they call him that, but that's what I'm going to call him. Imagine for us. I don't, that's not my view of the world. So I refuse that. And I know that together we can do this. The world is already a beautiful place. We just need to catch up with Mother Nature and the world, right? I was talking to a client who lives down in Tennessee, and she was saying that this spring, everything was abloom, everything was big, it was almost like spring on steroids. And it's been like that here too, and I've noticed just the abundance that the mother is showing us, and the beauty that the mother is showing us, to know that we are creating heaven on earth here, and it just takes focus and continued effort. And whatever these talking heads are saying, blah 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 blah. I was going to say something, but I won't say because it's a bad word. We just don't have to listen to that stuff. Listen to your heart. Listen to your heart. All right, guys. Well, lovely. I'm just standing here looking at this path, and I'm like, wow, that is so pretty. Oh, boy, the hydrangeas. We're going to have to be watering them a lot if we get a heat dome up here in Mass. But we will do it. All right. Take care, everyone. Have a great day. Michael is almost done with his, this was a lot of hard work, and I'm hoping he can get it done before it gets too hot, because it's not good to be out in the heat and work that hard. All right, everyone stay safe, stay cool. If you see folks out and about that don't have, maybe a water or something, might be a nice gesture for folks. Okay, take care, everyone. Namaste.